Good. Hello,
Hello.
Kajaanan.
Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you again. Great, thank you. I want to know a little bit about today.
Okay.
A little bit about you. So, tell me about you then. I mean, what do you do now? Where do you live?
Well, I live in Coventry
Yeah.
now, and I go to a school called Bars Hill, and I'm very happy there. And
you speak Tamil?
I speak Tamil. That's my mother language. Yes.
Yeah. And okay, great. And obviously you speak English.
Mhm.
Do you speak any other languages?
I'm learning French,
Right.
and I'm learning
Brilliant.
Spanish at school.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. And you were born here?
Yes, I was
obviously.
born here.
Yeah. And you speak Tamil well?
Yeah, I do speak Tamil well.
Brilliant.
The pronunciations I'm not quite so sure with, but
Okay, great. Thank you. I think that's really great. So tell me about what you do now. What you study?
well, my favourite subject is maths.
Great.
Although when I grow up, I do want to become or go into law.
Yeah.
I would quite like to go into politics and like lawyers and
When
things.
you go, I want to talk to you about the future a bit later on. So I want to go back to. I want to know more about your education because this is about more of education, and I want people to I like people want to share about the way they learn, how they learn, what it really inspire them, and really inspire the world, right? And I will be sharing this more with our Sri Lankan community, so it's brilliant, right? Great. So tell me about your nursery education here. Where did you study for? Where did you go for nursery?
Well, I used to live in London when I was
Yeah.
that kind of age, and I used to live in Merton, and I used to go to a school called Aragon Primary, and
Yeah.
that was the school I went to for most of my life, from up to now. And my nursery education was like home, but in a different place.
Yeah,
It was like all you can do at home
yeah,
and more
yeah,
you could do at nursery.
yeah,
And the teachers were specialised with like children, like really young children,
yeah,
and like they would like in a way treat you as their own.
yeah.
In a way,
Yes.
like they would never.
And that was your experience?
Yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah, brilliant, great. So what do you remember about the teachers, like a nursery teachers? Because I remember about my nursery teachers. And what do you remember about?
Well, my nursery teachers,
Ah.
we had. It wasn't because in some schools
Yeah,
there's always middle-aged
yes.
in nursery, but in my school we had a person called Miss Pierce.
Yeah,
He was quite older, and she was there. She was at nursery and at the school for longer.
yeah.
And then there was another person called Miss Pierce,
Yes.
but she was a younger and in a way less experienced and more of a kind.
Oh yeah, great.
So like we had that different
Yeah.
age group. So like it was like 1 minute you were like doing something fun with a nice teacher,
Yeah.
and then like you were reading a book. And I remember an experience. It was my first day of nursery,
Yeah.
and I was really, really scared. And I was crying, and the teacher read me a book, and I fell asleep. And I was like, my dad told me when I came home, and I just started laughing.
That's very interesting. So it must be a bedtime story then.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really. It was just like a book, and
Okay, great, I got it. So did you started reading when you were at nursery, like reading lots of books?
well, the teachers would read to me,
Yeah,
and they would get me to like copy some words, like easy words, like
yeah,
all those necessary everyday words that you use.
yeah,
And they would get me to recognise each word and teach me phonics,
yeah,
which really helped me read.
yeah. Okay, great, thank you. So let's move on to your primary educations, and then you move on to the primary school. Yeah,
Well, I
So-
did move my primary school in year 6,
yeah,
but up until then I had a whole host of different teachers.
yeah,
Like in year 1, I had a teacher who not everybody liked, because some people really,
Yeah.
really, really, really liked her,
Yeah.
and then some people really, really hated her in a way. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know why that was.
So why you liked her? What you liked her about?
She was just always like free-willing in a way.
Right.
Like she would never tell you off.
Yeah.
And then I had a teacher in year 5.
Yeah.
One of my favourite teachers ever.
Yeah.
She rewarded the good people and punished the bad people.
Okay, great.
And the bad people, who were always the bad people, got punished lots of times and hated her. But the people, who were the good people, got rewarded and loved her.
Great, thank you. And tell me how, I was like more interested in the language, how people communicate, and when they reward you, when they talk to you, you might be doing like a little things.
Yeah.
They will say, well done, Kajaanan, you're really, like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that teacher languages, they used to encourage you, motivate you?
Well, the teachers I liked, when they encouraged you, they encouraged you for nicely and
how
for
did they say
little often things. Like it was nothing big. It was a well done here and a well done there and a sticker here and a sticker there. Well,
so they give you like a stickers?
Yeah, stickers
so,
and like we had. Sometimes
so like
they even tried to like.
Well done sticker will say something like well done or a star. Like.
Sometimes we had like a star chart and we had each person's name in the class.
Yeah.
And when you got a sticker for being good, you put it on that star chart.
Yeah. And
the person with the most in each week got a prize from the teacher, would buy it and give it to you.
Okay. Great. Did you get any prizes?
Yeah, I did. I got this stickers thing.
Okay.
That's one I remember, and yeah.
Great. Thank you. I'll talk more about that. So that was your primary year 1, and then year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6 you're in now?
I'm in year 7 now.
Oh, yeah, year 7.
But year 6 was a very important year because that's when I moved twice, actually.
Change school.
Yeah.
That must be really hard for you. Changing school, different friends.
Not really.
No, was it alright?
Because like
you are very adaptable.
Yeah. When you leave a school that you really like, for like that day when you leave, you're really sad.
Yeah.
And then the day after you're really sad. But then when you're waiting, and once you've put your new school admissions in, you're waiting for it to get back. Before you start your new school, you've completely not forgotten about it, got over that sadness.
Yeah.
So when you start, you go in with a fresh, clean plate.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, it's already filled up in a way. So it's already been you've known those people.
Yeah.
And then my second year 6 teacher, Mr. Freeman, my favourite teacher ever. I don't know why.
That's great. Thank you for saying that. So the next question I was going to ask you about your teachers.
Oh.
But tell me about Freeman then.
Well, I don't know why.
When he was...
He was the one that got me through the SATs.
What year you were studying?
I was in 6.
Year 6. Year 6. Okay. Freeman
was my first teacher when I moved.
What he was teaching?
No, he was...
What was
because in primary we had one teacher for all the
lessons. Yeah, all the subjects. Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
And...
so he was a year 6 teacher?
Yeah.
And tell me about, what really interests you?
He in a way liked the same things I did. He liked politics, and I liked politics.
Okay.
And he liked maths, and I liked maths.
You like maths?
Yes.
So was he teaching maths to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did extra maths revision class with the teacher for the extra SATs paper that I did.
Yeah.
Because if you're really good at maths, you can do a really high paper for your SATs.
Yeah. How did you get to like maths? Because I didn't like maths myself when I was studying. Great. So let's. I want to really know more about the Freeman, right? So what else is it? I know you said he likes politics and you like politics. He likes maths and you like maths. That's a common interest, right? So what else is inspire you to remember him?
He was just really nice.
The way of teaching.
Yes, his way of teaching was it was more of a a bit more of a talking method, in a way. He
Yeah.
would talk until it got through your head, and then he'll get you to do the thumbs.
It's like a more of a sharing, like
Yeah.
saying that if it is like, for example, I don't know, 5 times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he will talk you through like, well, if I ask you 5 times 5, how many? Can you tell me?
No,
You know,
he
that's not
wouldn't-
the right way,
no,
right?
he,
Yeah.
like, he wouldn't say that.
Mm.
He would say, like, he would have 5 times 5, and he would come up to you and say 5 times 5, like, talking to a friend.
Yeah.
He wouldn't ever treat you as a student. He would treat you as a friend.
As a friend.
Yes.
Thank you. That's so inspiring, you know. Right, teach you like a friend. Brilliant.
He would teach you like...
What if normally I remember, you know, I had an experience in Sri Lanka, right? If I ask you, so you tell me I'm going to ask you something, you tell me the wrong answer, right? What is 5 times 5?
24.
You can't even know the simple mathematics. 5 times 5, 25. How many times I told you 5 times 5 is 25 and you still keep saying 24? How is that like? Terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, really. Even though I know you...
What's the experience like? Yeah, even though you know
Yeah,
me.
it's still terrifying. Well, in my experience with Mr. Freeman, when you got something wrong,
Yeah.
he would stop, like, stare at you, like you're waiting for like this massive shouting match, and then he'll be like, okay, we need to do some extra work.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, okay, perfect.
And then he'll call you in, like after school or something. And he wouldn't like say this time. He would ask you,
Yeah.
what time do you want?
Yeah.
What day do you want?
Yeah.
And he'll give you that choice.
Yeah.
And like if you're ill on a day and you come back the next day, he'll say, okay, do you want it today or do you want it tomorrow? Or do you want it like on Thursday? Like, and like even if you don't want to go on Thursday,
Yeah.
but your appointment is for Thursday, he won't tell you off.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just set it for another day.
Yeah.
So it's more of a helping. Like shouting.
Okay, no, I got that. So let me ask you again, then I'll be like a free man, right? So, Kajaanan, so what is 5 times 5?
24.
24. Okay, good. Well, we need to do a little bit of work on that, right? It's not the right answer, but don't worry about that, okay? So we will do some work on it. So when you get free time, can you see me after the class? Maybe see how we can work together.
And the thing is, he would never talk to you like that in front of everybody. After you said the answer, he would just move on and like no one would care because like he never talked to you.
Yeah.
Then after the class, when you're leaving,
Yeah.
he'd just like call your children and talk to them now. Like
Very
that.
good. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I think that's a very important part of, you know, I'm so inspired. You know, I want to make a difference to children educations, and talking to you is giving me an opportunity to tell another teacher to realize, you know, what skills they can pick from here to use it in their classroom or with their students or parents, possibly how they talk to their children, you know. Great, that's really great. All right, good. What else I want to talk to you about? I want to talk about your, anything else? Any other teachers inspired you?
Well, every teacher inspired me in some way or another.
Yeah. And I want to mostly focus on the language, you know, how they encourage you, you know. Oh, Kajaanan, well done, you know, very good work, well done.
Yeah,
Like
even if it was like the little things like colouring in between the lines or underlining your title, there will always be a good...
So when they look at your
yeah.
whatever you've done, they underline your title with the different colour things, and then mark you, say good luck, they put a star on it, you know, things like that, right?
And we used to have like this thing in our class, which was points.
Yeah.
And like you'd...
And we talked about that point system, right?
Yeah.
So you get more stars as you do, and then you move up the ladder, you know. I like that. In the reading also, I remember my daughter, you know, she uses like, you know, as you read more and more,
Yeah.
you get more colors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. I want to talk to that about a bit more later. So I know you talked about your future. That's brilliant. I never thought about my future when I was little. So, what inspired you about politics? Tell me about politics. I mean, what you like about politics?
Well,
I mean, how did you get interested in the politics?
one, I like changing things for the better, and I like that, and I like power in a way.
Yeah.
So it was my grandpa who said, "Judge." Then I went from judge to politician to Speaker of the House is. And then I thought, yeah, but politicians are a bit risky with elections and things.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went back to law.
Yeah.
Then I thought about lawyers.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about judges.
Yeah.
So it's all in that law,
judges and politics and being a speaker in the parliament, that kind of areas, right? And that I got that. So you want to make a difference to the world. There's so many ways you can make it. But what inspires you is being a politician or something in that area of the life. Okay, great. What is your interest or what is your passion?
My passion, I don't know, I've got a passion for everything really. I've got a passion for acting, for drawing, for painting. I'm like a two-sided person. I'm very academic. I'm very artistic and I play lots of instruments and things. And I also like a few sports. Like I do rugby and things.
Okay, good. You like the sports as well. That's brilliant, right? So I really got that right. So I want to talk about drawings. I'm going to have a drawing competition, so we will do that. So I'm going to give you some drawings for you to do. Then I can talk about that a bit more later, right? Another time we will do a project on that. I've got a lot of stuff, Tell me about Tamils and I know you are Tamil.
Yeah.
Right? So your perception, how do you see the Tamils? Sri Lanka. Or it could be about Sri Lanka as well. Or
well, Sri Lanka as a country, I think it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And
are you proud of being a Sri Lankan?
I'm proud of being a Sri Lankan. There are some things I'm not so proud of, but every country.
Tell me what you're not proud of. That's the important things. You are changing the world, right? You might change Sri Lanka as well one day. But what you like to see,
civil war that happened. I'm not
the war,
quite,
I know the war is not. There's no need for war, right?
Like, why can't you sit down in a room and talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why can't
That's
you do
so inspiring.
that?
Why can't people, even after the war, you have to sit down and talk? Why you can't do that early?
And why, when other countries get involved and give you...
Right. Thank you for telling me that you are proud to be a Sri Lankans, proud to be a Tamils, but what you are not proud of is all this war. But what you wanted to say, please. Thank you for sharing that. I think the whole world need to know that, right?
And cut.
Thank you for listening to our interview today with Kajaanan. He's only 11 years old. Year 6. Year 7 now, isn't it? And then we hope that you learned something from it and it's been useful to you. And then please give us a feedback as well. And then we will do another video soon. And thank you very much. Goodbye.